hectic situation, and I want to praise my officers for the restraint that they showed in that video and outside of that video, okay?
What's going on, y'all? Man, it's King Clef. Let me back up. What's going on, y'all? Man, it's King Clef holding it down for the Cool Tip, man. I'm right back at you. This right here is the After Hours special. Shout out to TK. We've been trying to get in contact with my brother. He's been ripping and running and doing some great things while he's on the road. We will be having some update lives with him as well. In between time and in the meantime, we're going to keep this machine rolling with the muscle behind the machine. Miss Sweet, shout out to the people.
Hi, everybody.
So, we have meetings pretty much, every day, if not every other day, passing ideas and things like that. Miss Sweet dropped this one here, and it kind of shocked me. Sweet, do you want to go in and give a description of what the fuck is going on here?
This was the latest teen takeover in, I think it was North Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And a female police officer was jumped and beaten by a group of kids, and the rest of the police came and kind of got her back, and I'm gonna say she got right back in it once they got all those kids off her, and was like, didn't miss a beat. Yeah. So much respect to her. Mm-hmm. But
she took a beating too. So yeah, like
they were hitting her with pipe. It looked like a metal pipe. I can't tell what it was. They shot Roman candles at her.
Yeah.
They shot fireworks at her.
Yeah. See, they didn't capture that on the. And first, let me say, great topic, unfortunate topic, interesting topic, and we're gonna dive into it and try not to make it that long, but it's strong. So here's the thing. First of all, if you don't know, check it out.
Hectic situation, and I want to praise my officers for the restraint that they showed in that video and outside of that video, okay? When we're dealing with juveniles, we get judged at a very high level. And we here, since I've been here, we have changed our policy in certain ways on how we deal with juveniles. But we need some help. We really do. We need some help. We need some help from the community, because stuff like this is getting dangerous.
So yeah, man, as I was saying, you saw that, you heard that, but here's my thing. On the first one, this is the update from Cool Table 1.0. First of all, I want you guys to check out Cool Table 1.0, as well as this channel AH, Cool Table 1.0 AH, as well as T the Teacher, when we do our lives and find out a whole unedited version of that. But check this out. On the first one, I said the same thing at the end, as far as giving her a shout out. Even when we was in the meeting, I said that, because, you would think once she got clear, she would scramble, but she didn't. That's some soldier heart. And I'm not, listen, I'm not against the police, but I'm not for the police either, because I'm kind of a hypocrite. You know what I mean? It's like type of shit, right? But I'm more like 60-40. You know what I mean?
I'm there with you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I believe, and this is a phrase that I heard from some police, but I also saw this in a movie. It was a Denzel Washington movie called Fallen. And the guy was talking to him about corrupt police. And they was kind of like taking a taste, a little bribe, a little something like that. And he said a phrase that really stuck with me. He was like, even if it was, and I'm just paraphrasing, so I might have it wrong, so if you see the movie, check it out. It's called Fallen. It's kind of a dope movie. But he said, let's say 80% of the officers are doing the right thing, and 20% are doing, getting a little taste. Even that 20%, when they come, in general, we believe, and I want to believe, and he was saying that he believes that most, if not all, want to come and do the right thing. Even when they're, taking a taste, majority of the day is not filled with just corruption. You know what I'm saying? So, and I might be saying that kind of wrong, but the point he's making, and the point I'm trying to make, is that I believe that all police officers aren't coming there to just like seek out, kill, and destroy, right? There's a phrase called lurking and murking, and I learned that from some of the situations. And in those situations, you're looking for your ops. You're lurking and murking. You're trying to find them people and murk them people. And I don't believe that cops are just like, you know what? Today, niggas gotta die. Let's go get them. Let's find them. And I believe that there's situations that we have seen, that we do know of, where that trigger happy cop instead of doing the full length of what they could do, such as in this situation. Now, and this is where it's gonna get interesting, because in this situation they really did show how they can show restraint, huh? So, in the midst of all this warfare right here, they chose not to do what we generally think the police would do.
I think they're lucky it was kids, not to interrupt you.
Yeah,
If it hadn't have been kids, I don't know how that would have played out.
real shit, real shit. Now, what I said in the meeting, and I stand on this, I think it's because of the fear of the back, because when they shot that young brother in the back, he was fleeing, he was jumping on the fence. They shot, and not they, but it was one cop, but he shot him in the back and killed him. They faced huge backlash. This was a huge thing, and it was real, and it was deserved, right? It was deserved. You know what I mean? Because he was running. He was not a threat. He was trying to get away. At the worst, he was fleeing, what they call it, fleeing and evading police, right? So that's a charge in itself, but that's not a death warrant. That's a charge in itself, but that doesn't even deserve you to get shot, right? What they should do is trap a man, block him in, catch him on the next block, type shit, right? This is where they lock down the city, do the perimeter, and try to, you see what I'm saying? So here they showed restraint, but I think it was due to the fact of, maybe some training, maybe some,
Well, I also think that it has to do with the fact that they're under a microscope now, and there is a big crack in that blue wall.
right,
And
right.
people are finally having enough.
When you say a big crack, I follow you. Wait, hold
Blue
on.
wall is what I call like the
No, I know the
police,
blue wall, but what do you perceive the crack to be? You saying like it's the system
being-
broken, or you
like,
saying
no, the crack being now more people are being able to see these things with
Right.
camera phones with.
so maybe instead of a crack, it's more of a mirror or a view inside the blue wall, where before the blue wall was solid. Like you see what I'm saying? Because now we can see more shit. Because you can't, even though they try to get around, I've seen some stuff where they'll try to turn the camera on late or turn it off early
Well, and
or
now
some shit like
everybody
that.
has a camera in their hand.
Well, I'm talking about the
Body
POV
cams.
view.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? Like now, internal affairs, I would assume, or whoever is over, policing the police, right? Internal affairs would be like questioning why your camera wasn't on. You know what I mean? Because they have to have that camera, right? And so and when I say they try to get around it, I've heard stories where they'll try to turn it off early or turn it off late, so it'd be like a blah 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 blah, like a lot of shit going on, and then click. You see what I'm saying? And even then, I've heard where they still get questioned about that. So I'll say I like the crack, and when I think of crack, I think of broken.
Right.
So there's a broken system, right? And that's really real, because we talked about that. It's easier to get in than it is to get out. That's the broken system part. So I would say crack probably applies to that. We have more of a POV view, you know what I mean, where we can see inside the wall, where the blue wall used to be solid. You know what I'm saying? That's why I used to call them fuck, not fuck, you know what I'm saying, not fuck Crips, but like they the true Crips. They the true Crips. They the boys in blue. You know what I'm saying? And they the only boys in blue. They the only Crips that can walk around legally and be like, you know what I'm saying? And really move. But I still stand by this. If my mother was in trouble and I wasn't able to get to, and I wasn't able to make no calls or pull up, help my mother, you know what I'm saying? Woo. I want her to be able to call somebody to come help her. I want her to be able to, and she's a mama, you know what I'm saying? Good woman, all that shit. She's, you know what I'm saying? Woo. So I would want her to be able to call them, and I believe they would come and help her. You see what I'm saying? And my belief in that is because I personally have had mixed situations with the police. I've had cops that let me fucking go. Straight the fuck up. And I was dead to right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was gone. I knew I was gone.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? I just knew it. It's over. It's done. I'm gone. Motherfuckers start thinking like, yo, because you got to remember them numbers, because you only get a couple of free calls. So I'm like, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You start getting your phone. You got your mama number. Like, you need to call. You need to call
Mama's
them.
not the one I want to call in that moment, and that's
Nah,
probably
but
the only number I'll remember.
But see, that's what I'm saying. But you want to have your mama number, because that's the fail safe. Like, you want to be able to have somebody, but you need to call somebody that they got some money. Maybe somebody who got a favor. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a few numbers in the stockpile that can make shit move. You feel me? You don't want to remember the number that's just gonna be like, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, you in there? Oh, that's sad.
Sad thing for me is I'll only remember the numbers from back home, my friends back home.
Well, you know what? You got a couple of ride or dies. I'll say M might be like, oh, what? You fucked up? Because M, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? But M, you know, she been there and done that, so she would make shit shake if she could make shit shake. But I digress.
Yeah.
The point I'm saying is, and the reason why we're talking about the actions of the police and the length that police can go, and what's going on, and you know how the corruption and the cracks and this and the third, because usually these situations, when they're filmed, you know, especially with social media how it is now, they're supposed to expose fucked up shit, right? They, like, you know, we did an episode the other day where, you know, a brother was in the doctor's office. He's being, you know, he's on the speakerphone loud, and this white lady, and it's like, it looked like generally like all black people in there, and she's speaking up talking, and I believe that they tried to videotape her thinking they will catch a Karen moment, but to us it looked like she was well deserving what she was saying.
She deserved a round of applause.
Right. So generally these things, but are to like expose or to, well, I'm not gonna say expose because some motherfuckers just want to capitalize, but this situation was animalistic. I'm gonna just look. You know what I hate the most, and I'm looking at them and I'm talking to you. This stuff that comes on social media, and you'll see some comments from people who are pro and people who are against, and you really start to see the insides of people's soul when they're behind that keyboard. Some of the comments you'll see is chimping out. You'll see shit like the animals at it again. You'll see shit like, you know what I'm saying? Like derogatory, deeply rooted racist shit, right?
Keyboard warriors,
right?
People that will say things where they have no consequences, but are too afraid to. Like people that do stuff like that would never say something like that in person.
Hell no. Some of them even have fake accounts just to be able to do that shit because they don't want to get caught like that. But my point is, I believe this strongly, and we talk about this shit, and this is where, you know, it gets real tight, because generally we believe that you as a black person or you as an ally, excuse me, don't smoke, that you're supposed to find justification in anything we do. That's the unspoken rule, I feel, when it comes to
I believe a true ally should find justification where it needs to be found, but also call out hypocrisy and, like, because you can't just be a yes man. That's not an ally.
Right.
That's not building. That's not developing.
That's not even the true definition of friendship.
No.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you doing wrong, and I'm not trying to deflect. I'm trying, or not deflect, but like branch off. But I'm just saying, like, even down to the very fundamental of just your homie, your homeboy, your homegirl. Like, if you're doing something stupid, you're doing something foolish, your friend ain't supposed to just sit and they be like, well, it's all good. They're supposed to be like, yo, what the fuck is you, what the fuck? Because that's a true friend. I say this phrase all the time. And I really believe when I say this phrase to some people, it really shakes the core. Because a true friend dares to tell you something that almost could shake the foundation of your friendship out of love. They're not just, because they're not supposed to say it like, oh, I'm just hating on you. It's like, I'm telling you something you probably don't want to hear, but it's really for your good. And you can leave all mad, but when you think about it, you'll come back glad that I told you what I told you, or what whoever told you. You know what I mean? That friend, right? So this is a hard reality check. You know what I'm saying? When I bring up the comments that these keyboard warriors do, you want to be mad. I thought I had something on me, goddamn. But you want to, don't like not gonna take Tourette's or some shit. But you want to be mad, and you justifiably could be. But then it becomes where, and I'll even use the correlation with a friend, right? You're telling your friend, hey, yo, what the fuck, and you're defending your friend because you know, like, I have this theory, I have this thing too. This not even the theory, but this principle. Yo, you pick a fight. You know what I'm saying? You could be dead wrong. We gonna get up out of here though. They ain't about to. We gonna get up out of here. But when we get in that car, I'm like, yo, what the fuck was you doing, cuz? You could have got us fucked up. Why you moving like that? And that goes to, it makes it hard to defend that friend. That's my dog. I love that, love my dog, but it's hard to defend my dog because of their actions, right? So the correlation is, this my community, these my people, but sometimes you make it hard to defend your people when you see shit like this. Go ahead.
No, we gotta start holding people accountable. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can say these are our people,
Right?
and defend our people when, you know, come in and like
When
defend.
wrong is wrong.
And also, even when they're wrong and still being attacked, like there's a difference in coming in and defending, but not condoning, and actually not just calling them out in private, but eventually letting other people see that you hold your friends accountable or your people
Shit,
accountable.
I like that. That was a great point. Were you finished? Because I would like
Well,
to
yeah,
build off
because
that
I was
point.
gonna say, like, usually though, people don't learn things in like a face-to-face, like just private lashing. Sometimes you have to embarrass people
That's unfortunate, but that's real as shit.
for them.
Because when you tell them in private, they can just take that, and it's between you and them, and then they just go on about their day. Because they don't have. As soon as they leave you, they go back to wherever their behavior is accepted, and then it's like, okay, you see what I'm saying? So that effect from that spanking, oh, my brain is, but like, you know what I'm saying? You get that butt whooping, then you go back outside with the motherfuckers, and it's like you still rubbing your butt, like shit. But eventually, 2 hours later, you back having fun. You feel me? Now
Probably doing the same shit
but
was
you
doing.
might remember it when you start to like, oh shit, I gotta go home. You might remember it then, right? But that shit kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because you not being held accountable, right? Loudly, proudly. You're not being shunned. You're not being shamed. You see what I'm saying? When you go back to where you're accepted for your fucked up behavior, you know what I'm saying? When the birds of feathers start to flock together, and your behavior is justified, then that shame wears off, and then deflection comes. Man, fuck what they talking about. Man, they don't know what they talking about. Man, they don't understand. You see what I'm saying? And
They're
then you
just
start.
trying to stop me from having a good time.
Right,
Just
right,
jealous,
right. Right. See, like those words like that, like jealous. Because I wouldn't say stop me from having a good time, because then that sounds. Well, some people might say that because they're ignorant.
Well,
But
I'm
like
saying
but the justifiable thing would be like to make them bad. So they just jealous. Man, they hating. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to say something that makes them your enemy for trying to check you or correct you. You see what I'm saying? Stop you from having a good time. That's the because if you're smart enough, you can't lie to yourself that well.
Yeah.
But jealous, oh man, that's why they doing that. Hating, oh that's why they doing that. Oh, they man, you see what I'm saying? And then now it's justifiable to be rebellious against the wisdom that came to you. You see what I'm saying? Because why would you listen to the person that's just trying to hate on you? Why would you listen to the person that's just trying to be jealous to you? You see what I'm saying? And then we use the history of the police in these type of situations to make it seem justifiable for retaliating against, in this type of fashion. Oh, you know how they do. Oh, they came in like, you know what I'm saying? And they try to paint the narrative like what we did is justifiable because of what they did before. You see? Am I?
You're not wrong. I'm just like.
Or am I? What I'm not wrong, but am I reaching? Like
No,
I think that
I
was.
feel like you're reaching. I feel like you're, right there on it. Like, because a lot of times where there's always been a predominant, where this side is usually done, like gone out of their way, look for things to attack, look for profiling, look, all these things, and now when they're actually justified in what they're doing and stuff like that, you still have people that will always be like, well, they did this back, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and I want to say one thing that I just hit in my brain, but you know what I hate? I'll see some videos of people doing wrong, then getting arrested, right? And shout out to George Floyd, and I know I have said both sides of the coin on this brother, right? Because reality is what it is about his history, but it also is reality that he got murdered. For real.
His past doesn't define.
No, that's what I said. Both sides of the coin. His history is what his history is. That's why they say nothing about. He got murdered, point blank, right? So the two don't, erase each other, right? But they'll get arrested or detained and shit. I can't breathe. They'll start using that. You see what I'm saying? To try to. You feel what I'm saying?
I know.
So here's my thing, just to kind of wrap this up, because I seem like we kind of agree, and I do appreciate you first of all for speaking and being brave to speak on this, because I know that you down with the team and down with the as an ally, but you also are very balanced as a Caucasian presenting woman. This is the most woke way to
Call me a mutt.
Caucasian presenting woman, you know what I'm saying?
You can say it, mutt.
Alright, you mud ass mother. Nah. Well, I just went from one extreme to the other. But nah, for real, because it's a really tough cheese thing, and that's the thing that I think. Because see, in every group, there's good people and bad people, right? And the bad people utilize the pain from the good people to justify their bad, and that's what I see. You feel me? I know. You feel me? Like when we talked about the profiling thing, and the lurking and murking and shit, right? When I think about this now, and I'm a hypocrite. I try to be a good guy, and I am a good guy. But I say that as saying I understand how certain things can go and do and things like that. Woody. But when people were really, shit, it wasn't too damn long ago. Like I'll say, even like 10 years ago. Sitting down. Fuck what I'm talking about. Look, you can go to a lot of hood gas stations and motherfuckers is posted selling dope. Scale out, clock out, boom, right? When the war on drugs and the war on crime really jumped off in the 90s, we can sit there and say on one hand, oh, you're profiling us and this, then the third, right? And that could be possibly true. But what else could be true? That you're out there moving and grooving with people, doing the things that look like and portray as if and possibly are criminal, right? For example, I could walk to the gas station, and here's the profiling, the bad profiling. I could walk to the gas station, I might know these guys, dap them up, right? They see it from across the street before they swoop in, and then I walk off. Right? And because I did this, dapped up, hey, what's up? It looked like a transaction, right? And I'm walking for the gas station, right? Bad profile, right? A Mickey Ficky Tricky, you know what I'm saying? Bad profiling. Now I could be standing with these guys for 2 hours, hanging up there, while they doing what they doing. I might not even be trapping, but I'm standing up there kicking it with them. No,
I'm not gonna.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm kicking it with them. I see what they're doing, right? I'm a social. These are my people. We can live in the same neighborhood. I'm just not doing that. Now, this could be bad profiling, but is it?
Well,
because
no, because I was gonna say,
I wanted to try to write this up, but this is a good one.
Even though you're not actually doing it, you're still because you witness, you know what I'm saying, and you're okay with standing there while it's going on. So you are not an accessory.
Not an accessory, but you're a social. So here's this is what I'm saying. This is why it gets tricky, because I'm gonna give the example after this of the real profiling that actually works, but this one is where it's in the middle. I gave the bad, where you're completely innocent. You're not affiliated. You're a civilian. You just went to the store. You just happen to know these niggas. Because everybody in the projects, everybody in the hood ain't hood or ain't doing that. They could be hood because they live in the hood, but they ain't doing what the niggas in the hood are doing. The bad, you know what I mean? They ain't banging this shit, right? They just live there. So they happen to know these niggas. They go to school with these niggas.
Grew up
right?
with.
Right. So the second one is where you're out there, you're kicking it with them, you're posted up with them, but you're not actually doing what they're doing. So this is the thing where it comes to birds of a feather flock together, right? And shit. So the association of you being there will make you look as if you are part of or down with. Now, where they will be wrong when they do the profiling, when they grab you, right? Where people start to trip about it's like how they detain you, how they treat you when you haven't actually done nothing. That's when somebody could be like, yo, right? Because once you pat them down, like even if you pull them over, whatever, because they think you did something, because a lot of people have witnessed that, been in that, like you get something and, you know what I'm saying, they see that, whoop, 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 you feel me? And if they don't find shit, they supposed to let you go. Not keep detaining you and, you know what I'm saying, we gonna find something, nigga, dig in your asshole, like, but that's a whole thing too. Because we talk about this shit where we stash shit. People will put a crack in your ass.
Hidey hole.
You know what I'm saying? Or what they'll do, they'll look and search around because we'll toss the bomb. You feel me? You feel me? But they'll usually toss the bomb if you're trying to run. Like you're toss run. You feel me? So there's reasons on that, but that's also a 50-50 gamble. I'll say more like 60-40, 70-30 because, if you, whatever. The worst one, or the right one, I wouldn't even say the right one, but I say this a lot because if you're trying to actually do something for real, and you know that what they're looking for, then why the fuck would you try to fit the profile of what the fuck they're looking for? This is like insanity to me. This is like doing the same thing, expecting a different result, which actually is the definition of insanity, right? Because people told you this is what you got to do, this is how you got to supposed to look, this is how you're supposed to act to be what you saying you want to be. And then you get mad when you get jammed up for looking like, acting like, and doing what they say you do to be what it is you want to be. So my point in the end of the day is, if we're smarter, we got to be smarter. You know what I'm saying? If you know better, you're supposed to do better. And we have gotten to a place where we're complacent with the things that we do. We're complacent with the way that we act. And worse, we're complacent with the way that we look while doing these things. And we justify it by we're passionate, we're strong, we're this, we're that, and then have a subset where we try to glorify some of the excellent things, right? But there's also a saying that we have in our community where we say this shit. Everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. But you know what they seem to take and then they leave? They take the creativity, the artistry, the fashion, the talk, the walk, the cooking, right? They take the positives and they try to leave the negatives. Now, when the ending of that phrase happens, when it's time to be black, is where they take the attitude and the behavior, the negative shit. Like we all know the Wiggers. You know what I'm saying? Where they riding like us, they talking and moving and grooving like that. They even doing it so much where they think they can say and doing that, they get the same kind of consequences to a degree. And the reason why I say to a degree, because they still have, depending on how they handle shit when it's time to be black, determines on how they might get punished. But a lot of times, if they want to ride out like that, they would hold on to that persona, right? And then they get the punishment that we get because of the things that they're doing, right? We need to have more accountability with us. We need to be more truthful about us. This behavior is distasteful, ugly, makes us look like everything these keyboard work. It look animalistic. I ain't gonna front. It look animalistic. I don't care what that officer did. Like you know what I'm saying? And she came in there and said, "Y'all gotta get out of here. This is crazy." She came in there brave by herself, and y'all jumped her. I said there was a part in the video, bitch on her back, punch her. Then another motherfucker come up, stick. Then the motherfucker on her back, boom. Like this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. If we want better for ourselves, if we want 12 to be off our back, if we want room to be us and grow, then we got to start to show that we know what we know and we ready to grow and not just ready to stay where we at, because they gonna come for us if we give them what they want. If we do what we know we supposed to do, we might be able to detour some of that bullshit and it'll eliminate the overall look of saying all police officers are bad, and it might give us a chance to expose the ones that truly are. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you're not doing all those things, then most of the good cops gonna chill. The only ones that's gonna show they fucking evil are the ones that are fucking evil, and then we can pinpoint them. But when you doing this shit, you jumping on then that's when we start to blanket everybody. Just like they trying to blanket everybody. So who has the responsibility? We need to change how we illuminate ourselves. Maybe go backwards to when we actually had pride in how we showed and represented ourselves. So that way we can say we black excellence and be black excellence. And not just say we black excellence by doing unexcellent things. That's just my opinion. Anything to say, Miss Sweet?
I just want to say I'm like, first off, I'm so over all these team takeovers. I don't.
Oh, that's dead.
It's like at a certain point, like somebody either allow people to just go in there and start manhandling these kids, and I don't believe in putting.
I do.
But my thing is when they want to go in and mob, and somebody needs to beat the like. They
And
need
watch
to
this
have
shit.
Belt BTA.
Yeah, watch this shit though. If somebody else came in there and tried to correct their kid, then you'll see where the parents come up.
Oh yeah.
Did you put your hands on my kid?
Uh-huh.
Well, bitch, why you didn't?
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck was you at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your kid could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why I'm saying accountability on the adults, the parents. Like, I'm so sorry, but you could be at work, but still, you know you're gonna find out about this.
Man, let me tell you something, man. My mom would be at my mom worked a lot. And I learned a lot from being outside. But my mama made me call her when I got home from school.
Mm-hmm.
She'll call again. If I miss that call, and this is when we had landlines.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? If I miss that call, you know, I might not be in trouble, but she'll be like, where were you at? What was you doing? What were the, you feel what I'm saying? It wasn't just you do what you do. It was reasonable questioning and trust this. There was no locks on my goddamn door. There was no way that was gonna happen. I ain't paying no bills in that. You understand what I'm saying? She was involved, deeply involved, and she was a single parent. And that doesn't mean that it stopped me from getting in trouble, because you're gonna do what you do. But it also made those seeds get planted, because when I did get in trouble, when I did sit, when I was there, first thing that came to my head, first thing that flew through my mind is that she told me this shit. She said this shit. She warned me about this shit. And that's the job of the parent. You gonna do your stupid shit, but you don't have the justification and you can't act like somebody didn't tell you. You have to own the fact that your ass did something stupid, and now you're getting stupid rewards for your stupidity. I know some people might disagree with me, and they might say, hey man, you don't understand. We just want to have fun. And I would love to hear it. I wish, please, comment. I want somebody to tell me why it's necessary for 200 motherfuckers to be taking over a park every goddamn day doing nothing and fighting and shooting. If it was a party, I'd be cool with that. Listen, if it was a party and it was, you know what, you're right. That can lean into another conversation. And so I'm getting the wrap it up sign. You know what I'm saying? So I think I said what I had to say, and I would love to hear what you got to say. Leave, like, share, and comment. Mm-hmm. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll catch you cool kids at the cool table next time. Deuces.